Russia launched a massive attack on Ukraine overnight. They used approximately 70 missiles in the assault. Nearly 200 drones were also deployed. The attacks targeted vital infrastructure in multiple Ukrainian regions. This assault marks a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict. The attacks caused widespread damage and disruption. Power grids were hit, causing blackouts in several cities. Communication systems were also affected, making it difficult for people to contact loved ones. Emergency services worked tirelessly to respond to the attacks and provide aid to those affected. This recent aggression has drawn condemnation from the international community. Many world leaders have expressed their support for Ukraine and called for Russia to cease its attacks. The United Nations is holding an emergency meeting to discuss the situation. The attacks are a stark reminder of the human cost of this conflict. Innocent civilians are bearing the brunt of the violence. The situation remains fluid, and the full extent of the damage is yet to be determined. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the Russian attacks. He called them a direct assault on civilian life and a violation of international law. Zelensky reiterated his call for a partial ceasefire. This proposal, initially suggested by French President Emmanuel Macron, aims to de-escalate the conflict. The Silence in the Skies proposal seeks to prohibit certain weapons. This includes missiles, long-range drones, and aerial bombs. It also aims to ensure safe maritime navigation. Zelensky believes this partial ceasefire is a crucial step towards a peaceful resolution. He emphasized the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving the conflict. Zelensky urged Russia to engage in meaningful negotiations to find a peaceful solution. He stressed that continued aggression would only lead to further suffering and instability. Zelensky's pleas for peace have resonated with world leaders who are calling for a de-escalation of the conflict. However, Russia has so far shown no indication of halting its offensive, raising concerns about a protracted and increasingly bloody conflict. The United States has temporarily suspended military aid to Ukraine. This decision has raised concerns about Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russian aggression. The suspension includes intelligence sharing, which is crucial for Ukraine to track Russian troop movements. The Trump administration has not given a clear reason for the suspension. However, some analysts believe it might be linked to concerns about escalating the conflict. Others speculate it could be related to internal political pressures in the United States. The suspension of aid comes at a critical time for Ukraine. The country is already facing a significant military disadvantage against Russia. The lack of access to U.S. intelligence could further hamper Ukraine's ability to anticipate and counter Russian attacks. This development has sparked debate about the United States' commitment to Ukraine's defense. Some argue that the suspension sends a message of weakness to Russia. Others believe it is a necessary step to prevent a wider conflict. Despite the escalating violence, diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict continue. Zelensky has been actively engaging with world leaders to find a peaceful solution. He recently met with U.S. officials to discuss the situation and seek further support. Zelensky is also scheduled to visit Saudi Arabia for peace negotiations. He sees these talks as a critical opportunity to bring Russia to the negotiating table. Zelensky believes that a peaceful resolution is the only way to end the suffering in Ukraine. However, the recent escalation of violence poses a significant challenge to these diplomatic efforts. Russia's willingness to target civilian infrastructure raises serious doubts about its commitment to finding a peaceful solution. The international community is urging Russia to cease its attacks and engage in meaningful dialogue. The coming days will be crucial in determining whether diplomacy can prevail or if the conflict will spiral further out of control.
Like, comment, subscribe.